all that I've been through, everything I've faced, all the lies I've been told and said, and this is how it's all going to end. I've failed everyone. I've let everyone down. And it's purely my fault. If only I wouldn't have been such a selfish jerk, then maybe, I could have set things right. And maybe so many horses wouldn't have died because of me. But now, it's too late. We've done all we can. We've used up all our strength and energy, all our resources, all our drive and determination. It's all gone now. We have nothing left. Nothing but blood on our hooves and broken spirits. It seems that our only option now is to give up. All the others already have. I'm the only horse who still thinks there might be another chance. But without my friends, my family at my side, it won't make a difference. I can't face this alone, and my hope seems to be fading with every moment. Balthazar once told me that there is always hope, that we can find hope in everything all around us. But even he doesn't believe in that anymore. No horse does. But what I think Balthazar didn't realize is that it's not everything around us that gives us hope. It's not just any horse that can give you hope either. It's the odd little things that you find hope in. The strangest little details that bring about the strangest memories. You don't always find hope in the horse you most expect it from, but the one you don't. It's those small things and these unlikely horses that renew your hope. And when your hope is restored, your strength, your energy, your drive, and your determination to go on again will follow. Everything that was keeping you down, your mistakes, your doubt, your sins, they will all fade away, leaving you fresh again to realize that giving up is an option you'll refuse to take. Our story begins with two brothers. Both were born to become the gods of horses. The first one was born during the day, when the sun was shining, beating down rays of life upon him. His name became Cavallo Alato, the horse of light and life. The other was born under the night of a new moon in pure darkness. He would become known as Cavallo del Demone, the horse of darkness and death. These two horses are the balance of life and death for horses on our planet. One cannot survive without the other, for life cannot live without death, and death cannot happen without life. These two watched over the horses on the planet and kept them in balance, creating life and bringing death, working in tune with nature. However, Deanii started to grow jealous and resentful of his brother, which would lead to the corruption of his power over the balance of life and death among horses. The horses tended to love and praise Alato for bringing life to them, like young, beautiful, springtime foals. They did not feel about Deanii in the same way, however. They resented death and they feared it. They dreaded Deanie's name and their fate of death in the future. Deanie's jealousy for his brother began to fester, as he desired to be like him, to be appreciated by the horses for his role in the balance of life, like how Alato was appreciated. As his jealousy grew, so did his hatred. One night, Deanii snuck out onto our lands while his brother slept, and he woke one of the horses that had a deep black coat just like him. The horse's name was Damon, and he was a well-respected horse amongst the herds. Damon was surprised to see the god standing before him, and he was afraid that he had come to take his life. Deanii assured him, though, that he had not come to take him, and instead offered him immortality if he would allow him a favor. Damon did not know of what this favor was, but he felt like it was a good payoff, and he didn't want to disappoint one of his gods after all. After Damon approved, Deanii possessed the unsuspecting horse, taking over his mind and body, and putting it into his own control. The next morning, now posing as Damon, an ordinary horse that the other horses would listen to, Deanii stood up in front of one of the herds and called to them to listen to what he had to say. "The gods are angry with us. We have not been respecting Cavalo del Demone, and he will come and take us all unless we worship him even greater than we worship Cavalo Alato." The horses were frightened by his words and unsure of what to do. Deanii did not realize, though, among the herd of horses was a light gray horse who Alato had recently spoken to and warned him that he feared his brother might be up to something. This horse called upon Alato to see what was happening. Alato came immediately and stood in front of the herd. Deanii was surprised by his brother's appearance, and he came out of Damon's body to face him. Alato was furious with what Deanii had done and urged him to listen to him. He tried to convince him that he was as respected as he, but Deanii would not listen and was far too gone in his own selfish desires. He lunged at Alato, wanting to rather have his own brother dead than give up what he wanted. Alato had no choice but to defend himself, and the two brothers began to engage in a long, bloody battle. Finally, Deanii was overpowered by Alato. He could not kill his own brother. He did not have the heart to do so, and he also knew that killing him would disrupt the balance of life. He instead banished his brother to the core of the earth and kept him imprisoned, so he could not try and hurt the horses and disrupt the balance again. After Deanii was banished, Alato went to the white horse who had warned him of what happened. Alato was proud of this horse's loyalty and devotion, and he asked him how he would like to be rewarded. However, The white horse refused any kind of gifts or rewards, and said that he simply wanted to help Alato keep the balance of life stable and prevent evil from taking over his fellow horses. Alato then decided to offer him something he had never done before. He offered to give the white horse immortality and to become his warrior against evil, a guardian to the other horses and a protector of the balance. Although Alato warned him, immortality is not as good as it may seem at first, and there would be many responsibilities for him. The white horse still accepted Alato's gift. Over generations, Alato promoted several more white stallions and mares to the honor of becoming guardian horses, protectors of the balance. Alato is now retired from the lands and lives in the Sky Haven, the place where horses go to rest after dying. The guardians reside there as well, but they come to the lands whenever the balance of life is disrupted. With Deanii banished, Alato now takes the full responsibility of giving and taking away life. It is rumored that while he is banished underground, Deanii is obtaining his own secret following. Before the horse Damon was possessed by Deanii, he was an innocent and kind horse, but that had now begun to change. Damon no longer felt the same sense. When Deanii had possessed Damon, he had left an evil part of himself left behind inside Damon. As Damon felt the deep evil inside of him, and it began to grow, he developed a strong loyalty to Deanii. Damon went out and gathered other horses to follow him in his quest to one day have the god Deanii return, even if it would take him generations to accomplish. The horses that Damon gathered were oftentimes horses with black coats like he and Deanii had. Over time, these horses were called dark horses. The horses were now silently divided into 3 groups. The dark horses that were secretly attempting to bring Deanii out from his prison beneath the planet. The balance protectors, trying to keep the peace throughout the land. And the normal horses, unaware of the constant struggle between the balance of life. Oh, come on, that's the end of it? I'm afraid that's all for tonight, young one. You foals need to be off to bed. It's getting late. But I don't want to go to bed. I want to stay up and listen to more stories. Me too. I want to hear more. Come on, Dad. Can we please stay up just a little bit longer? No, it's time for you to go to bed, son. Oh, could I at least ask a few questions about the story? If you don't mind, Shaman. Not at all, Annabel. Leonardo? Okay, we have time for one question, and only one. Thank you, sir. Shaman, well, if Deanii a god, and Alato's brother, and he's so powerful, how come he can't break out of his prison? Well, Alato used a very powerful magical binding spell that keeps Deanii trapped. It is known to be the most unbreakable spell ever created. Are you freaking kidding me? It's just a stupid story. And come on, magic? That's ridiculous. Stop filling these annoying foals with these silly horse tales. Xavier, horses have been telling the same story for generations. Yeah, from his great sire to his grandsire and so on and so forth. But these tales sound so far-fetched. You just use them to teach foals to be good. And all this magic stuff, good grief. And really, dark horses and balance protectors or guardian angels or whatever they're called are here on Earth? I don't know about you, but I've never seen or heard of one before. Maybe they were here one day, but I think they're long gone now. These stories are a part of our history, and these young ones should hear it. And well, yes, Xavier, most of us haven't ever seen a dark horse or a protector before, but it doesn't mean they aren't real. In fact, from what I've heard, there are some protectors and dark horses that have actually learned to disguise themselves to look like ordinary horses. So if they really could disguise themselves, then I guess that could mean that you, Ash, could really be a goody two-hopes protector. Oh, wait. You couldn't be. You're way too annoying to be a protector. You must be a dark horse then. Oh, shut up, Xavier. That's not true. Actually, the only protector that I could see being here would be little Annabel. Because she's so sweet. Very funny, Xavier. All right, that's enough. Off to bed, all of you. But I have more questions. No, get to bed. No more questions. Bed now. Jewel, please escort them back to the herd. Yes, my love. Come on now, foals. They're good foals. They will grow up to be good horses. I'm worried about Ash, though. He's just so angry. I'm still worried about him having such a dark coat. He was born almost pure black. Don't worry, he will gray out. I know, but it still concerns me. I don't know what I would do having a dark horse in the herd. Even if he didn't gray out and his coat stayed dark, that wouldn't mean he'd be a dark horse, Leonardo. You'd know better than that. The color of a horse's coat does not define him and his personality. Yeah, but it sure would attract other dark horses to him. You know, you're not far off from being a horse with a black coat either. Yet you are a leader of a nice herd that would do anything to protect them. It's not just the color of his coat that concerns me. I should go now. It's getting late, and I have some important errands I need to run. Are you sure you'll be all right by yourself in this dark? I can get one of my stallions to escort you. No, I'll be fine. You always say that, but I can never seem to believe you. You worry about me too much, my friend. I'll be fine. I always am. When will you be back? There are still stories the foals need to learn. Sometime soon, I promise. Now, farewell. Have a safe trip. Hey, Annabel. Yeah, Ash? Do you really believe that story? Of course I do. Why, don't you? I guess I do. I'm not sure. What about you, Comanche? Do you believe in it? Huh? Oh, yeah. Those dark horses don't sound very scary, though. I bet I could take one on any day. Oh, and, hey, Annabel, what were some of the other questions you were going to ask? Oh, I was just going to ask some things like, why do dark horses only have black coats and protectors only white coats? If there was ever a name given to that white horse that became the first protector. You know, stuff like that. Oh, well, hopefully Shaman will be back tomorrow so you can ask him. Or maybe my dad knows. Your dad scares me sometimes, dude. Why? He's just my dad. I know, but he just looks at me weird sometimes. I don't think he likes me. Why wouldn't he? You're just a big mouth fool with no discipline. What's not to like? Hey! Ugh, whatever. Anne, why do you want to know so much about that story anyway? Are you like planning to become a nerdy storyteller horse like Shaman? Oh, you're hilarious, Ash. It's just curiosity, I guess. I find it interesting. My mom says it's always important to be curious and learn new things. Well, my mom always says it's important to think before you neigh and have self-control. Yeah, that's because she's talking to a hothead like you. Ugh, Comanche. Okay, you fools. You can have all the fun you want tomorrow. It's bedtime now. Good night, Comanche. Good night, Ash. Night, Anne. Good night, Ash. Sleep tight, and don't let the dark horses bite.